I've gone 7-3 the past 3 Saturdays combined with my college complimentary selections here on the video report. Last night I kicked off the weekend with 2 more college winners for you, Ohio State and Pittsburgh. God knows why I chose to go with Florida Atlantic as my personal best bet. The Owls, the home favorite, losing outright to Marshall. As I like to say, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Before I get to your college selections for today's video report, quick congratulations going out to Jack Brayman. 6 straight winning days. He made it on Friday with his Raise the Bar 200 dime release on the Pitt Panthers, which you got for over half price off, as I continue to show you that you don't have to pay big money to make big money, as I give you the top plays from the top handicappers for well over half price off on a daily basis. Today, case in point, Dwayne Connors, the second ever 150 dime play of his career in college football. It's on the mid-afternoon game between Baylor and Oklahoma State. He won the first ever 150 dime play last Saturday with Alabama taking care of business. And you get this play, just like Bama, for over half price off by using coupon code, and this is an original coupon code, I will point out, the word SECOND, SECOND. All your other discount codes and promos, including for Jack Brayman, as he goes for his 7th straight winner with another top-rated 100 dime release. All of them over on the home page. With that being said, let's get to your complimentary plays. I'm going to take a look at a couple games on the nighttime card, starting with the Alabama game. Now, Alabama tonight is hosting Arkansas. Is hosting Tennessee as Nick Saban takes on another former disciple on his coaching tree, Jeremy Pruitt. Now, Pruitt got his first SEC win of the season last week as Tennessee took care of business at home, beating Mississippi State 20-10, and to that I say big deal. Alabama has no look ahead as they play Arkansas next. They're coming off a 47-28 win against Texas A&M. This 34.5-point spread is the biggest spread ever in the history of the Alabama-Tennessee series, which says 2 things. Alabama is that good and Tennessee is that bad. Let's just break it down to the most primal level there, right? Bama has won 12 in a row straight up in the series. Last year they were at 28-0 after the first quarter and cruised to a 58-21 win in Knoxville. For Tennessee, the freshman quarterback, Brian Maurer, he was concussed in the second quarter of the Mississippi State game, left 4 for 7, 61 yards, 2 interceptions in that game. It wasn't like he was playing exceptionally well. If Maurer plays, Tennessee will take more chances offensively in pushing the ball down the field. The guy he replaced wasn't doing anything for them offensively. Listen, with no look-ahead game, with just Arkansas next on the schedule, I don't think that Alabama is going to be caught looking ahead, obviously. The thing with Alabama is whether or not they're going to care with Tennessee here on the schedule. I say they do, because the one area where Alabama has struggled here so far this season has been defensively. A lot of youth on that Alabama defense this season. It has struggled, especially in SEC games. I think Nick Saban's going to want to see an all-out effort from his defense here, a more consistent effort, and I think Alabama will, in fact, cover this 34.5-point spread. Is it a game that I'm going to go out and bet? No. But as I've said throughout the season, you know, in college football, you can't be that hesitant sometimes to lay the big wood with certain teams. Now, would I lay the 33 points, for example, with Oklahoma on the early card today? No, because that is an obvious letdown situation with the Sooners coming off the Red River rivalry win against Texas. That's a game that you have to stay away from. But in this case, with Alabama not coming off that big of a game with Texas A&M, it really wasn't. And with no look ahead again going forward with Arkansas next, I say go ahead and lay it with the Crimson Tide. Another game on the nighttime schedule. You've got Penn State, a touchdown favorite at home against Michigan. What has Michigan shown you that they can do so far, especially on the road this season? Absolutely nothing. They go to Wisconsin, they get the asses kicked, losing 35-14. They take on Illinois last week on the road, and their defense, once again, showing you that it is not a vintage Michigan defense. They get into a shootout with a bad Illinois team, 42-35. Now, the problem I do have with Penn State over the years is that with James Franklin at the helm, this is a team that often doesn't show up in the biggest of games. They struggled last week to get the job done at Iowa, although Kinnick Stadium, not exactly an easy place to play, but they did manage to pull out the win 17-12. This is a team, though, I do have some concerns with, because earlier this season at home, in their biggest home game to date, they struggled to get by Pittsburgh, an average Pittsburgh team, really, 17-10. But this is an exceptionally cheap price, so I'm willing to go ahead and lay the points and take Penn State here. And naturally, with that number floating right around 7, I'm going to go ahead and buy the half point down on the Lions in this one. Another game here on the nighttime card. You've got Boise State traveling to BYU. It's been a one-sided series here of late. You know, you have Boise State with their quarterback, the freshman, Hank Burkmeyer? Yeah. Hank Burkmeyer. Almost forgot the damn guy's name. Bachmeyer. I did forget his name. Left last week's game against Hawaii with a hip pointer. He is questionable for the game, but listen, they put in the sophomore, Chase Cord, and all he did was go 12 for 18, 175 yards and 3 touchdowns in relief. And he's probably going to start here today, because if they start him, and with a bye coming up, that would give 3 weeks for Bachmeyer to fully recuperate. And Boise is off to a 6-0 start. They're coming off that 59-37 win at home against Hawaii, and that game was not nearly as close as the final score indicated. BYU, meanwhile, is coming off a 27-23 loss at South Florida, and South Florida sucks. Before that, they lost 28-21 at Toledo. Their last game before that was at home. They got their asses kicked by Washington 45-19. Zach Wilson, their starting quarterback, is out. The freshman, Jaron Hall, is had a concussion. He is probably questionable to doubtful for this game. If he can't go, the redshirt freshman, Baylor Romney, would probably start. This is BYU, a team that has been struggling, probably with BYU, because they play this tough non-conference schedule. They front-load the schedule with all these tough teams. This is a team that is physically beaten up. I think this price is great for Boise State, and it's great because of sitting at around 7 points. Because of the question regarding their quarterback, you're getting him at a discount. Otherwise, Boise State would be laying probably 10 to 11 points here. So take Boise at the discount. Again, buy down the half point and go with the Broncos. In terms of how I like these 3 plays, obviously, you know, the 34.5 points that you're laying with Alabama makes them a prohibitive favorite. I would say that probably Penn State and Boise State would be there at the top tier, with Alabama right below. That's how I like it. I wish you well, and talk to you again.